It's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, Villa fans. Welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. And this, just for transparency's sake, this is going to be a shorter team sheet tantrum today. I have to be gone by 6:25. But we get the team in anyway, and we get to know who will be starting for Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace in a team in a game I think is really, really important and pivotal as to how the rest of Aston Villa's Premier League season I think will go. We have 12 games left, I think. Is it 12 games that we have left? And 7 of those games are away from home. Obviously, this game is away from home in Selhurst Park today. So beating Crystal Palace, I think, is very, very important. Also, there's some other games that are going on around us today. I'm hoping for draws in both of those. And 3 points from Aston Villa could actually see Villa in 4th place, albeit there will be lots of games in hand afterwards. But it's, it's a really, really important game tonight for sure. I don't have Paddy. I'm here on my own, but in the absence of Paddy, I was messing around, and what I did was just decided to ask ChatGPT what the predicted lineup is going to be tonight, and it's fair to say that they've gotten it wrong. But let's take a little look at it anyway to pass the time away over the next 3 minutes. You guys may not be able to see that, so I'll try and zoom in on this and command and plus. There we go. So. I've been messing around with ChatGPT before, ChatGPT previously, seeing what they would give us for some of the scouting series things as well, and still not ready to fully trust it yet. But here we see what ChatGPT says their lineup is going to be: Martinez in goals, Cash, Konza, Pau Torres, Luca Dean, Yuri Tielemans and John McGinn, with Leon Bailey, Morgan Rogers and Jacob Ramsey and Ali Watkins up top. I'd be surprised if that was the lineup that they had tonight. But more importantly, what I did was, for shits and giggles, I asked to see who would win the game between Crystal Palace tonight and Aston Villa, and it says Villa are going to win 2-1 tonight. So I'd be happy with their prediction for sure, and the reasoning that they give is home advantage. Villa Park has been a fortress this season. Well, there's a bit of an issue there. Attacking thread, Ali Watkins is in great form, and Villa have dangerous attacking options in Leon Bailey, John McGinn and Yuri Tielemans. And Palace's inconsistency, they've been unpredictable this season, sometimes struggling to create clear-cut chances. And you know what? They start talking about people like Michael Olise here as well, is going to be an issue for Aston Villa, and you know what? It would be a real issue for Crystal Palace if Michael Olise was playing today, because as far as I'm aware, he's not registered as a Crystal Palace player. So I thought that was a bit of a laugh today as I was messing with it to see what the story was. But so be careful what you look for in ChatGPT. You know, always cross-reference your findings from it for sure. Just for transparency's sake as well, you know, some of the stats there, the Pau Torres defensive dynamo piece was wildly inaccurate as well when I was checking that some time ago when Torres first started. So it's not as Charlie Kane says, it's a year out of date, and most things are as well. Most things are in ChatGPT because it does have a finite resource to it as to when it can go back to. Anyway, that was just a small bit of crack there that I was messing with earlier on. In the absence of Paddy and having his opinion on on what the lineup might be today, I'm filling time now as I'm waiting for the Aston Villa team to be announced, and we don't have it just yet. Should be out any minute now. Come on. There we go. The team is out. At least it says it's out. It hasn't updated on Twitter yet. And we have the team. And I can't remember, but I have a vague recollection of saying that Andres Garcia will be in the team tonight. And he is, because he's the poster boy tonight. And the team is Martinez in goals, Garcia, Konza, Disasi and Digne, McGinn and Tielemans and Bogard Ramsey, Rodgers, and Watkins. In fairness, I did not expect that team, but I think the most surprising one is Bogard and Ramsey being in there as well, with Rashford, Mallon, Bailey, and Asensio being on the bench. Tyrone Mings makes the bench as well, so it looks that he has overcome his knock the last time. We've got some serious firepower on that bench, absolutely serious firepower. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here. See if McGinn plays out on the right. See if Tielemans goes a bit further forward. Who's going to be the double pivot? It's going to be, you'd imagine it's going to be Bogard and somebody. Like, I know Bogard has been a Swiss Army knife and he's played in 3 different positions already. But are we really going to see Bogard playing on the right wing up there? I doubt it. I absolutely doubt it. So Bogard is going to probably be in the 6th position, probably with Tielemans, with McGinn pushed further forward into a role, or maybe he's going straight with a 4-3-3. Maybe he's going with a 5 at the back. Who knows? Maybe Bogard is in there to go into a 3 at the back with Konsa, Bogard, and Disasi, given that we've got no left footer in there. And the fact that Konsa and Disasi wouldn't have played an awful lot together, and Garcia and Dino bomb forward. So there's a ton of permutations here. Ramsey could probably play a bit more central. Rodgers goes up top with Watkins, and it gives you that type of fluidity if you did want to drop Bogard back into that role of being the Kamara role, what we would like to say, going in to make it 3 at the back while our fullbacks bomb forward, and then go to more of that box midfield then as we go as we go through the centre, with Watkins maybe up top on his own. I don't know. It's an interesting one, and I'm disappointed that I only have another 7 minutes to spend discussing it and looking at some of your comments here, because that is a lineup that that's a lineup that is intriguing. It's intriguing. I'm sure that some of you guys will have comments on it, and I'm going to come to those right now. So no Cash on the bench, says Brian. Yeah, I did get a sniff of that today. I did make a kind of prediction last night that I think Garcia might start at right back. And then today I did get a sniff from somebody who has come up with stuff for us before. It said the Cash wouldn't be in the squad tonight. He picked up a bit of a knock, but he should be fine for Cardiff the weekend as well. So Dennis White says Unai always pulls a surprise. He absolutely does. And Mike Kane said earlier on that Unai likes to mix and match, and he absolutely is as well. Conor Mulrennan is saying Bogard with a counter-attacking setup. Don't mind or trying to mind for their front 3, I suppose. I think that is that what it means. Michael Will is asking, is it 3 at the back with Bogard? I think it might be. I think I think we're probably likely to see him in that pivot with Tielemans and McGinn pushed further forward. LP asks, is that another centre-back partnership? It is. I think that's our 11th centre-half partnership this season, which must be some sort of a record. Garrett McDonough says, I thought Mallon was a shoe-in start. So did I. I thought he was an absolute shoe-in to start. Absolute. I thought it wasn't even a question that we were going to ask, was Mallon going to start? And it turns out that's not the case. C. Liney says that attacking firepower on the bench. Absolutely wonderful attacking firepower. We will use it. I can see substitutions being made at halftime, whether we're win, losing, or drawing. I can see us utilizing and digging into our squad with a game coming up on Friday, and then obviously the Champions League later on next week, and or into the coming weeks, should I say, as well. And that's Danny Harvey was reading my mind. Let me guess, Rashford and Asensio on at halftime. Potentially, I would say one of them will be on at halftime, if not at halftime, shortly after it as well. Peter M says Rodgers should have been rested. I don't disagree. I think that if there was an opportunity to rest him, but I think he plays this game, and I think we don't see him then again until we don't see him at the weekend against Cardiff. I think that's a given, I think, at this stage. LP the Villain says, surely it's Bogard, central defensive midfield, and McGinn on the right. I'd say absolutely likely that's exactly what it is with Bogard. Then when we're in possession, probably dropping into a back 3 and then letting our fullbacks bomb forward. I would imagine that's what's going to happen. And Greg O'Connor makes a good point here. Cut off Isaiah and the supply lines to Mateta, blunts the attack. Bogard has good speed and man marking. Well, yeah, I agree that's probably why he's in there, a more defensive midfielder in there. Allow McGinn then to get at. And McGinn will probably drop in then it could be more of a kind of a 3 in midfield, I think, because McGinn then will step on to Hughes and the other midfielder they have that whose name is escaping me. Step onto those guys, stop any bit of patient build up. Also, it gives an opportunity then for McGinn to patrol that right hand side as well with Tariq Mitchell going forward to try and stop him. Obviously, on that side, it gives him more leeway to be, I won't say positionless, but a small bit more roaming around that midfield so that he can cover off any of the passing angles there. If that is how we do set up there as well. Yeah, and C-Line, I think, is the exact same thing as well there. McGinn will provide good protection for Garcia. Dennis White asks who's on the bench. Olsen, Ziyech, Tyrone Mings, Matson, Rashford, Malin, Bailey, Asensio, and Jimo Aloba are all on the bench as well. So there's massive firepower there. Sean asks, any chance Garcia plays wide right midfield? I wouldn't. No, I don't think that's the case. I don't think it's the game to try it. And I just don't think that it's something we see here. He has excelled at right back, and I expect him to stay there as well. I think we're more likely to see that Bogard pushing into a back three, so that it allows him to go forward and do what he does best. That brilliant attacking threat that he has down that right hand side. Of all the players that aren't starting, it's Malin that I'm more. I'm more disappointed not to see. I put him on the thumbnail because I thought it was an absolute shoo-in he was going to start. And and as I said, don't bet if you don't like betting or whatever like that, but I put a cheeky $5 on him to score today. And he's on the bench. Now, he could still come on and score, but I just have a good feeling about him. I had a good feeling about him in this game, and I thought this game was made up for him. But he starts on the bench, so we're going to have to see what he does when he comes off that bench and gets into the game later on. Where else are we? That's a great stat from Dalian Statkinson. Good old Dale from AVFC Stato says Tielemans and Martinez continue to be the only two to start every Premier League game for Villa this season. That's really interesting. The fact that we've got two people that will start every game, considering all the injuries that we've had so far this season. Two stalwarts for sure. I think that is for sure. Giggs Sharma says, not feeling so confident now. Why give Palace encouragement? Should have Rashford and Malin in. I don't agree about the Palace encouragement piece. I would have thought Rashford and Malin would have started myself, but I don't see how that first 11 gives them encouragement. But as I say, I do think that it's that it is a kind of a left field type of lineup for sure. Yeah, a couple of other guys there coming back in. Sorry there. Biff was at Pantera in Dublin. He's nearly back to 100%. I'd say Biff. Yeah, I'd say. So you need to take a week off after that. Come on. And I saw Michael Huggins earlier on. He's on his way back from Thailand. He's still floating around in Turkey. I think he said he was in Istanbul. So safe travel, Michael. Getting back to Brum for that. PSK says it's not three at the back, but Bogard will slot in when Garcia pushes on, similar to how Kamara does. McGinn off the right to help Garcia also, and Cash is injured. Yeah, that's exactly what I think the situation is myself. I do need to leave in less than 1 minute, guys. Unfortunately, I probably won't be able. Well, it's not that I definitely won't be able to do a rundown of the scores, but to let you guys know what I think the score will be tonight. I think obviously Villa are going to concede. I think Villa are going to come away with a 2-1 win. I think our bench is going to be massively important here. The ability to be able to bring on 5 attacking subs in Rashford, Malin, Bailey, Asensio, I think is really important. And I think we will utilize all those 4 subs. I think it will be potentially a situation whereby we change our front 4. Almost like you change your front row in a rugby game at 60 minutes. We have the opportunity to do that and bring on absolute latent pace in Bailey and Malin, and bring on real good ingenuity and attacking ability of Rashford and Asensio. So I'm all for it. I'm going to look forward to watching this game. We will be back with a post-match podcast. I'm really sorry I couldn't go a small bit longer with this one, but we will be back with a post-match podcast. I will leave you guys for the next hour and 5 minutes to mull over the starting 11. It's not the one we thought we would have, but it's the one we do have. and Unai Emery has selected the players that he sees fit to go to London and go to Selhurst Park in particular and to get a result tonight. And we'll be back afterwards to talk about whether it was the right decision or not. In the meantime, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the